the person Jesus is not Christ might seem to rob them of their icon of Jesus as Christ or as God in person. The fact there can be no true image of man's eternal oneness with God, however, in no way diminishes the iconic figure of the man Jesus as a model of God's earthly humanity. We cannot be reminded enough that the man Jesus was as human as ourselves. Here's a pretty pro-Jesus remark for you. If Jesus does not uplift one to God, at least he should uplift one to the marvel that is man. Iconoclasm, after all, is only a problem for those who think God is a human being, not for those who know no human being is God. Remember, the Incarnation was not the revelation of God, but the revelation of man, his eternal destiny to become Christ. Number 4. After all that has been said here, one might ask, if God's common human nature is not Jesus' human nature, then did God's own human nature actually experience life in this world? Had the whole human experience went through it all? The answer is yes, as regards the bare essence of human nature, but no, as regards all those properties, accidents, or attributes of human nature, more especially person, and all that means. Last page, 328. We might put it this way. The bare essence of human nature was God's universal human nature, but all the accidentals or properties were that of the individual person Jesus. Remember, God never united itself to any person or to any purely individual properties or accidents of human nature. These were never destined for eternal life, but were only necessary for man's earthly existence. To understand how this works, one would have to know the unitive state of theosis in which Jesus was born. The essence of his human nature was rooted in God, but outside of this, man's divine unitive center, he had his own thoughts and emotions, experienced all the ups and downs of the human condition, which, as we know, were considerable. The essence of his human nature, however, was stable and right, quote, on the line. Differentiating between what is eternal, or of the essence, and what is not, really requires some understanding of the unitive state of theosis. In this state, it is not difficult to differentiate between that in man that is God and that in man that is not God. Anything man can call himself is obviously not God. In truth, however, that unknown essence in man that is one with God, this is a mystery, really the mystery of Christ. The bottom line is that only God knows the real essence of man. So despite being in a state of theosis here on earth, Jesus' journey was not yet complete. The true nature of his death would be not only the end of his earthly journey, but the end of his own earthly oneness with God. And it is important then to grasp the difference between Christ on earth and, quote, the eternal or heavenly Christ in God, end quote. Those who think death, resurrection, ascension, transfiguration, even transubstantiation makes no difference are only fooling themselves. One last thing. A number of the fathers regarded man's spiritual journey as not just a process of transformation, but a process of incarnation, of man becoming as one with God as the incarnate Logos, Christ. Speaking of man's deification, Maximus the Confessor reminds us that this deification, quote, demands the kenosis and self-emptying of the adopted sons in order to lay hold of the divine to the same degree as that to which the Logos of God truly became man, end quote. So that's the end of that chapter. Here's a little question or thought at the end. We have to come to a better understanding of the essence of mankind, and then celebrate that essence as that in us which is capable of being transformed into Christ. So, that's it. Food for thought. Have a wonderful week, and God bless you.